everyone, welcome to Love and Life's Journey. I'm Chantel. Today I have for you a totally different video. I have never done this before, and so I wanted to do a get to know me video, and I have gotten so many new subscribers over the last couple of months that I just wanted to put this out there and help you get to know me a little bit more. So I did ask on my community tab if anyone had any questions, and several of you submitted some questions, so I will try to answer those. Then at the end of answering those questions, then I have a quick DIY project that I want to share with you. So let's just jump in and I'll answer your questions. So the first question is, what line of work are you in, and does it help your creativity? Well, I do work full-time outside the home besides YouTube. I work for a nonprofit organization in the donor services department, and so I work with taking donations and talking to donors, and work with a lot of processing of gifts, so a lot of numbers. So it doesn't really help me in my creativity. I love the place that I work, and but it's totally different than what I get to do on YouTube. Another question I got from several people was, what inspired you to start your YouTube channel? And I would have to say, honestly, I think my daughter Emily inspired me to start my channel. She started her channel over a year ago, and it's been a little slow to take off, but she has been persistent and she's still going at it, and I know she's going to do great. She has an art channel, and if you like art or you have kids who like art, I would totally recommend her channel because she's very family friendly and a lot of fun. So I will put the link to her channel in the description box below, but I would say that's kind of what first got me thinking about doing a YouTube channel. And then also I had taken an online course of how to start a money-making blog. And I thought I would first do a blog, and that it would just be kind of a creative outlet and a way to make some extra money. And so this course was really good. It's done by Pete and Heather Reese of It's a Lovely Life. And I will put the link to their course. They have a free 5-day course. I will put the link to that in the description box below as well if you want to check it out if you're thinking about doing a blog. But they also had tons of information about social media, and so I just kind of got to reading and learning all about that, and started my blog. And then after I started doing the YouTube videos, I found that I really liked doing the YouTube videos more than I liked writing. So that's kind of how I got into it, and I just watched a lot of videos and read a lot of things about being a YouTuber, and just kind of jumped in with not really knowing totally what I was doing. And so I still don't know a lot of things, but here we are, and so the channel's growing and I'm having a lot of fun. Okay, so another question I got is, where does your creativity come from, and how old were you when you kind of realized it? And you know, my parents joke and they say that they have no creativity because they gave it all to me. But honestly, I think growing up, my best friend Tracy lived down the street, and mind you, we live in the country, and down the street is like a mile away, and we had to ride bikes to each other's house. That was back when it was safe to do that. But I spent a ton of time at her house, and her mom was very much into sewing and crafts and toll painting and all kinds of things. And so she would give us all kinds of projects to keep us busy, and I think that's where I started really getting into doing the crafty type things, and I just got a taste of a wide variety of things. And so even now I really like trying different things. that will come up, which is why I have so many craft supplies because I'll see something and I'm like, oh, I want to try that. And so then I buy all the supplies for that. And, you know, then something else comes along. I'm like, oh, I want to try that. And so I buy all the stuff for that. But I think really the more that you create, the more creative you become. It just kind of gets the creative juices flowing. And so, you know, just jump in and create. If something doesn't come out right, that's okay. Try again. And just the more you do it, the better you get at it. It's just, I don't know. That's what I found anyway. Another question I got was, what do you do with all of your DIYs? Well, some of them I give as gifts. Some of them I keep. Some of them I have donated to like fundraising auctions, or just even donated them to like Goodwill or something. But I'm thinking maybe I need to open an Etsy shop so that I can sell some of this stuff, because it's starting to kind of take over, and we're gonna have to build another room or something. So I'm thinking maybe an Etsy shop. I don't know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. So on the community tab, when I posted the post to ask for your questions, I put a picture up there.
This was taken in the Magic Kingdom in Disney World in April 2018. We love Disneyland and go a lot, but this was our first trip to Disney World.
And someone asked, is that your husband or your boyfriend? My husband said the answer should be yes, because he is my husband and my boyfriend. But yes, that is my husband, Chris, and he is my best friend, and we have been married for almost 28 years. And he's so supportive of me doing YouTube, even though I come home from working a full day at work, and then I go in and do crafts or video editing, and you know, it takes a lot of time, but he's so supportive, and so I really appreciate that. And so yes, that is my hubby. Someone asked, does being a YouTuber bring you joy? Absolutely. I am so surprised by this, really. This was one of the things that I was surprised by, because when I started YouTube, one of my goals, one of the main goals, actually when I started my blog and then it kind of morphed into YouTube, my goal was to make it a way to earn another income, because my parents are getting up in years, and you know, as they're aging, they are going to need more help. And so I would love to be able to reduce my hours that I am away from home, because I want to be available for my parents as they are aging. And so this is kind of where I'm going with my YouTube channel and the goals for that. And so at first when I started it, I thought, oh, this is just a way, you know, kind of another part-time job, a way to make a little extra income and hopefully build that up to replace some of those hours that I work in my full-time job. But I have found that I really, really enjoy doing this. I absolutely think that it brings me joy. It gives me a creative outlet, and I love teaching other people how to do things. And the fact that all of you have been so supportive and positive and are enjoying my tutorials just makes me really happy. And so yes, I would say absolutely it brings me joy. And then the last question is, how do you come up with your ideas? Well, as many of you know, there are a lot of channels out there that are doing DIYs on a budget, or Dollar Tree DIYs, and I feel like a lot of times you see the same type of ideas or the same ideas over and over and over again, and so it's really my desire and my goal to come up with unique ideas, something that nobody else is doing, something that is just really out of the box. And so I challenge myself to do that and come up with ideas that hopefully you haven't seen before. And so because of that, though, it does take me a little bit longer. I can't pump out the videos one a week is usually about what I get out. I try to maybe get 2 out a week, but with working full time, it's just really, really hard for me. And so, but that is my goal. And where I get my ideas, I get my ideas like walking through a store and I see something that I like and I just think, how can I make that for less? Or how can I make that from things from Dollar Tree? Or things I see online, shopping online. I do the same thing with that. And then sometimes, God just drops an idea in my lap and then I just pick it up and run with it. And it's like, oh, that is such a cool idea. So that's kind of what happened with the metal flower tutorial that I did for the faux metal flowers. And if you haven't seen that, I will link that in the card above. But that video just kind of was an idea that I feel like God just dropped in my lap. And I just had to kind of go out and find the material to do it with. So, that's where I get my ideas, and you never know what's gonna happen. A lot of times I think I'm gonna do one thing, and another idea will come up, and I'll be excited and run with that. So, there you go. Another thing about me is I love Disney and Jesus, as my shirt says. And I love my family, as my Stitch pillow shows. But I'm just a country girl, just a normal person, just like you guys. And so this is me. What you see is what you get. This is who I am. And I'm just so happy that you have decided to spend time watching my videos and my tutorials and support my channel. So thank you so much. So now let's get into the tutorial for the wall art piece that I want to show you.
So I'm going to be showing you how to make this faux iron medallion. It's about 28 inches in diameter, and it's actually made out of these hearts, these faux iron hearts that I made for Valentine's Day. And these are made from those garden fence pieces at Dollar Tree. I'm going to link the video tutorial on how to make these hearts in the card above so that you can check that out, because you'll need to know how to make these hearts, because you'll need 4 of them to make this medallion. So in addition to the 4 hearts, you're going to need an extra fence piece, and we're going to cut 4 pieces out of that one fence piece, and these are going to be the pieces that go in between the hearts to complete the medallion. These pieces basically consist of the top arch piece and then the arrow part, and the only part we really don't need are those swirls at the bottom. So I'm going to cut those off, and then I'm going to separate each arched piece, and we're going to leave that arrow piece attached in the middle. So this is the shape that you need, and we need 4 of those, and you can get all 4 of those out of one fence piece. Then I'm just taking my ivory colored chalk paint and painting these just like I did the hearts. So the exact same technique that I did on the hearts. And I paint a couple of coats of paint on these and make sure I get all on the sides and everywhere. Once they're painted and they're completely dry, then I'm going to take the sandpaper just like I did on the hearts and just run over them just kind of randomly. And I start out light at first and just knock off a little bit of that paint to give it a worn look. And then you can always go back and take off a little bit more if you want. If you accidentally take off too much, then you can just add a little bit more paint in. But I'm going to do this on all 4 pieces as well. Once you have the 4 hearts and the 4 pieces that are going to go in between the hearts, then it's time to assemble this. And this is probably the hardest part, just getting it lined up. And so I'm taking two of the hearts and putting them with the points together, and then I'll take the other two hearts and I'm going to put them on the sides. So it's kind of like a four-leaf clover. And I'm actually setting the ones on the sides on top of the ones that are on the top and bottom. So they're overlapping some, and I'll show this up close here so you can see a little bit better. So if you're looking straight down at it, this is what you want it to look like. Once you have them lined up, then you just take your hot glue gun, and I'm using the Gorilla Glue sticks. I think that they hold better, and so anywhere that they are overlapping and touching, I am putting the glue in there to hold it together. So now that I have the four hearts attached to each other, I'm going to take one of those filler pieces that we cut to fill in between the hearts, and I'm just going to line it up so that it fits in between, and then use the hot glue again to attach it. Then I'm going to continue that with the other three pieces. Now I did have a little bit of trouble with the spacing. My hearts didn't quite have the same spacing, but I felt like it was more important to get that center lined up because of those arrows and all pointing to the center. I feel like that's where your eye is drawn to. So I really made sure that the center of my heart was lined up, and then these pieces that are filling in between the hearts, I just tried to space them the best that I could, and they weren't perfect, but you really don't notice it. Once I have it all glued together, I'm going to very carefully flip it over, and it's a little flimsy because it's so big. It's like 28 inches in diameter. So I'm going to flip it over carefully, and then on the back side, I'm going to add quite a bit of hot glue anywhere where the pieces meet and where they need securing more, and this will make it a lot stronger. I'm also going to take my wire cutters and snip off the ends of those in-between pieces that are sticking out a little bit, just because I don't want them to show from the front side. And so it's just really easy to snip those off where they're sticking out. So here is my finished medallion, and I think it turned out amazing. I love how it looks, and I'm actually, I think, going to put it up above my fireplace, and I think it's going to look great there. I have to do a little patching on the wall first, but I think it turned out great. And so let me know in the comments what you think of it. But I'm really excited because overall this cost me $7 to make. I needed 7 of those garden fences, and I already had the paint. So for $7 and a little bit of work, I am really pleased with this. So I hope you enjoyed this get to know me video and this tutorial. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.